raffle.
Great.
Can't talk now, they're recording.
I'm going to share the screen. Go here.
Good.
And there we go.
I can see it,
And it works.
but we did have to sign back on.
Okay, good. Good. So Al, how are you tonight?
You're muted, Al. I am fine, thank you. I was very close to you, probably within 5 miles. I had some stops up in the Muhlenberg Leesport area.
Hey, Steve, how are you?
Let's see.
Okay, so now we see the picture of the kids.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, great.
That's the class of 22.
Okay.
So Steve is on with us tonight from Doylestown. Lynn's on from Ambler. Oh, and I see Mike Scott. From Upper Perk,
In the house.
in the house, yeah. See who else we have.
My name is Diane Dennison. I'm also on the call.
Hi, Diane, how are you?
Fine. How is everyone?
Good, you're from Bethlehem Morning Star. You're one of our new reps.
Yes.
That's great. So I'm sure that you will get a lot of information from the other club reps, especially Lynn, because she was new to Rotary last year and she jumped right in.
I was disappointed I didn't get to come to the camp.
Well, you can come this year.
Yeah, I know. You need to tell me how to get my, you need to, if you could please send me how to get my kid clearance.
Yes, yes. Darlene's going to talk about that.
Oh, good, children clearance.
And Darlene has made this so easy. It's
Oh,
unbelievable.
great. Okay,
It's unbelievable. I don't know how she did it.
I didn't.
We'll just say a lot of work.
Magic.
Magic,
Yes,
okay.
yes,
Magic,
yes.
yes. I know that.
I did it. I did it.
I know you had to break down some barriers, but it was great.
Wasn't that much easier, both Gwen and Gary, to go through the clearances? That's the way it should have been.
It was nothing.
Exactly,
Nothing, yeah.
exactly. How many people are we expecting on tonight?
Well, we invited 25. We're not sure how many will actually be able to join us because it was short notice, but we'll have another session next week and we're recording this one. So, we have a lot of repeat offenders. So
So is the phone number 504, is that you, Diane?
yes, that's Diana.
Yes. Welcome.
Yes. So she's taking Rodney's place, Rodney Seifert. He's the
Okay.
president this year. Yeah. So we'll wait another minute and then get started. I don't see Dr. Michael on. He's our medical protocols guy. But anyhow, we are recording so we can provide this to folks that I know the Pottstown Club has their meeting tonight, so they're not able to join us.
We do ours at lunch. It's great.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's
Get
Dr.
out of the house,
Yeah. So Dr. Mike is on with us now. And there's Charlie Amuso. How are you, Charlie?
Hi, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Let me go. We're on. Okay, and I'll send you the link.
Okay.
Hang on, hang on. I'm gonna send Leon the link.
Okay, great. Great.
Didn't get it today, but I'll send it to him.
Okay. In the interim, I will go to our first page, which is the register section. And then you'll see we have really cleaned this thing up. It's going to be
Okay,
a lot easier this year.
okay.
And Steve's for you as well. So I'll ask Gary to do the introductions because Ralph's not available to be with us tonight.
Okay, so what I'd like to do is to ask everyone to give their full name, their club, and if you're a STEMIA team member, also what you role in. So let me go first. My name is Gary Engelhardt. I'm from Allentown West Rotary Club, and I'm one of the project managers on the project. So let's go from there. Mike, would you go next?
Me?
Yes,
Okay. Do people see me?
just the top half of your head.
Just your wonderful haircut.
Yeah, all right. I'm not getting my image, but that's okay. Anyway, I'm Mike Sider, and I'm the medical director, a member of the STEMIA committee since the inception, and proud to be continuing this work. I'm a member of the North Penn Club.
Okay. Lynn, would you go next?
Sure, Lynn Smith, Ambler Rotary.
Great. And Mike, Scott?
Yeah, Mike Scott here from Upper Perk Rotary Club. I was, I'm the rep for Upper Perk, and I was involved in STEMIA last year. So looking forward to the event this year.
Okay, and Steve?
I'm Steve Edelman with the Doylestown Rotary. Right now, I have a couple of companies doing medical research.
Okay. And Lynn?
I think
We did, yeah, we did.
Got me,
Go to the
you
next-
got me.
Darlene, you're the only one I mixed on this page.
There you go. Hi, I'm Darlene Scott. I'm the Youth Service Chair for District 7430. I, along with Mike and the 5 guys that started this whole program, I'm the gal. I'm the gal. We have been working on this since September of 2020, and last year's camp was wonderful. I am looking forward to this year's academy. I am from the Solderton Telford Rotary Club. I am also on the operational team, the visionary team, and the special fundraising team for the STEMIA.
Here's someone I've never met before, Charlie Amuso. Charlie, how you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Guys.
Hi, Darlene.
Hi.
I'm Charlie Amuso with the Souderton Telford Rotary Club. I'm the local rep for the Souderton Telford Rotary Club this year.
One of the original founders. Okay, Al, would you go next, please?
Hi, I'm Al Engel. I'm with the Souderton Telford Rotary Club. I was part of the original creation team and continue to be on the leadership team. I've been active in recruiting club sponsors, corporate sponsors, and I'm working with Darlene on a fundraiser, one we had last year. We're having another one. We'll talk about that later. And I was a volunteer at the first STEMIA 22 and look forward to being part of this next one.
And we have Leon.
Leon?
Hi, I'm Leon Silver. I'm responsible for 2 of our youth programs, and last year was my first time doing STEMIA, and I loved it. So I'm happy to be here.
Okay. You can only see so many people at a time. Did I miss anyone? Okay, Gwen, would you go?
I'm
next?
a new,
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Denise. Diane. I'm sorry.
And
Diane. Dennis.
my name is Diane Dennison, and I'm with the Bethlehem Morning Star Rotary, and I'm a new member to both the Bethlehem Morning Star as well as this group. So I look forward to working with you all. It sounds exciting.
Welcome aboard.
welcome aboard. Yeah.
Thank you.
So Diane, are you a new Rotarian as well?
I'm a new Rotarian. I'm new across the board, and I'm home with the flu. So
Oh.
forgive my hoarseness.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Well, Lynn jumped in last year. She was a new Rotarian as well. And Loretto, another one of our local club reps, was a new Rotarian last year. I think she was in 20 days when they
Yeah,
put her in.
something like
today.
that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we didn't miss anybody, I hope. Okay, so I'm Gwen Carr. I'm also one of the project managers of this project. And
What club are you from?
I'm from the Allentown West Club. I always forget. So we're going to just go through the website. Everything that we have to offer you tonight is really on the website. And if there's anything else that you need, we're here for you. So we'll start with the local club rep roles and responsibilities. So if we go to the registration page on our website, you'll see that we have a document called Local Club Reps Roles and Responsibilities. And that document is coming up now. And basically what we're asking you to do is to be the conduit between our team working with your local club and with your local school districts. So we need you to go out to the local schools, work with the administrators, the principals, whomever you know, in order to obtain our students. And then, of course, we're also looking for help with fundraising and seeking volunteers. So we're going to talk about registration, we're going to talk about volunteering, we're going to talk about donors, all those things tonight. So that's basically where we are as far as local club reps roles and responsibilities. I did forward to you already that same sheet, as well as some speaking points for local club reps. So we found that last year, a lot of the folks that we went out to ask about students didn't know anything about Rotary. So I included that in your original invitation. So we have some speaking points that you might want to review before you go talk with anybody to find out what they know about Rotary, about student well-being, what are the benefits of attending STEMYA, et cetera, and what the student requirements are for STEMYA, such as should they wear shorts, should they wear sandals, those types of things. So the more practical things. So I'm going to move over to the registration process at a very high level. And Gary's going to go into it at the more detailed level as far as what you need to do in each step. So if we talk about the student registration process, again, this is right on our website. The process for STEMYA student participants is through a local Rotary Club that has allocated funds. The local Rotary Club rep works with a middle school principal to identify interested students. And the students are nominated by the middle school principal or some other administrator. And they need to be current 7th grade students. Students should be motivated learners in the areas of science, technology, engineering, and math, likely to succeed in an overnight hands-on learning experience. And what we found last year, which was pretty interesting, was our kids had never been to stay at an overnight place other than with the grandparents, the aunts and uncles, maybe school friends. So this was a little bit different experience for them. And they're at that tender age of 13 and 14. So they needed to make new friends and really adjust to a totally new experience in addition to all the STEM classes. They should also be unable to otherwise access STEM enrichment activities. So the local club rep really works with the parents and guardians and the middle school to assist in the completion of the registration. Last year, it was a little more difficult. This year, we've tried to make it easier, especially with the liability waiver. And the parents and guardians will also help complete the health history form for the students. Gary's going to go over the registration form with us, the waivers document, and all the other information that we need to go through. So that's just at a high level as far as what the registration process is. So I'm going to go back to one other document that we have for you, which is the middle school principal letter. So this is something that you can customize, and you'll see that it's a Word document. So you're able to use that to customize it to the name of whoever it is that you're contacting at your school. The principal, the administrator, maybe a counselor, maybe a science teacher, and you can make this your own with your own signature. It also has attached to it, excuse me, some information about STEMYA. So if you go down through the document, it again completes the registration information. It talks about what is STEMYA, where does it take place, who provides the curriculum and instruction, who serves as the administrator, who can attend STEMYA, how can a student register, all the stuff that you're going to need to know in order to work with your middle school principals. So I'm going to close that one. And Gary, I'll ask you to go through the student registration packet. Oh, sorry, I need to go to Dr. Mike.
Yeah.
Sorry. Need to go to Dr. Mike. Let me get your things up. So here we are. Move the photos away. Okay, Dr. Mike, physical
Yes.
examination form.
Right.
Would you like me to display that?
Yes, please.
There we go.
Okay, so these forms are typically filled out during students' 6th grade year. It's a very standard form, history and physical, and immunization history. And these should be on file at the school, and hopefully the parents would also have a copy. We need a copy to be sent to us. I need to look things over, make sure that immunizations are complete, and see if there's any outstanding things in health history that we need to note. If for some odd reason the student does not have a form filled out, perhaps is new to this school, then this form can be downloaded and filled out and then sent to me. The question of COVID comes out. Last year, we required up-to-date COVID vaccinations for everyone. Things have changed over the last year. The pandemic has faded, where it's still background, but it's not number one concern for many people. And I would say that COVID vaccines are strongly recommended, but are no longer required.
Any questions for Dr. Mike? Yeah, last year this was a hotter topic than this year.
It sure was.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's nice to hear it's not required.
yeah.
Okay.
So we did lose quite a few students last year because of that.
Yeah.
Okay, and I guess I should say that the deadline is June 15th for all information. So we need everything completed by June 15th. So Gary, I'll ask you to talk about the actual forms and packets.
Okay, so we're going to talk about student registration form. And what I'd like to do is sort of walk through this with you. So this form can be filled out by the parent, by the guardian, I guess in the worst case, or the most unusual case, by a school administrator. But again, ideally, it would be a parent or guardian. And I guess perhaps a student could fill it out himself or herself as well. So you start with your email, whether you're the parent, the guardian, whomever. What's your email, not the student's? Your first name and last name, and then explain the relationship you have to the student, whether you're a parent, a guardian, or some other kind of relationship. And at that point, you want to move into the student. So what's the student's first name, the student's last name, date of birth, gender? Is a student Hispanic or Latino? What's the race? What's a student's email address? And again, if they don't have one, put in none. What's the street address, the name and the number for the student, the city, state, the zip code? Finally, what's a student t-shirt size? You have a bunch of choices here, so select the t-shirt size you think would fit the student the best. Will the student have a smartphone during the academy? We need to know that because there are certain things we can offer students that happen to have a smartphone. And if so, what's the student's phone number? We need to know that. Similarly, does a student have computer access at home? And again, list any dietary restrictions of a student, because we want to try to honor we will honor any dietary restrictions that the student has. And finally, are there any other special needs that the student have? We'd like to understand those as well, so they can be supportive. If you are the parent or the guardian, what's your first and last name? What's your email address? And what's your phone number? In case we would need to get in touch with you and you'd be unavailable for whatever reason, what's your backup emergency contact's name and their phone number? Finally, what's the school that the student attends? What's the current grade level of a student? And what's the name of the club sponsoring the student? We'd like to get an affirmative response from the student with regard to a commitment to attend one Rotary Club meeting and discuss the experiences they had at STEMway with the Rotary Club that sponsored them. We'd also like to get a commitment signature from the parent or guardian, acknowledging that the student must attend the full 4-day, 3-night program, not just part of it. Also, that the parent or guardian or the Rotary Club, can be any of those three, would provide transportation to Albright between 12 p.m. and 1 p.m. on Thursday, July 13th, and from Albright College on the evening of Sunday, July 16th, and that would be about 7 p.m. when the celebratory dinner is over. So again, want the school district administrators, the middle school principals, school counselors, or local Rotary Club reps to work with the parents to complete the required documentation. And again, the documentation includes this online registration form that needs to be completed, the waivers, permissions, and agreements document. And again, this particular form is electronic. You see at the bottom, it says submit. So once you fill out all this information, you hit the submit button and it comes to us electronically. But in terms of the waivers, permissions, and agreements document, you need to download that, print it out, read it, and then sign the last page and return that to us. You do not need to return all 8 or 9 pages of it, just the last page with your signature, and get that back to us. The physical examination form, as was already mentioned, the 6th grade history form, or if that's not available, the form that Dr. Michael talked about needs to be signed by the student's doctor. And the COVID vaccination history card is available. And again, it's recommended, but not required.
Okay.
Let me go back up again to say, again, to be clear, and once all that's put together, it needs to be forwarded to the registration@stemya.com website email address, and that will get it to us, and you will get a letter back, email back from us indicating we have received it and that we're moving forward with the application. So again, that particular waivers document here's a link for the waivers document at the beginning of this form. So you can click on there and download the PDF, print it out, and then again, read it all and sign the last page and send that back to us. We'd like to have you scan it and send it back to us. If the situations that just cannot happen, as a worst case scenario, you can take a picture on a cell phone and send a cell phone image to us. We can work with that if we have to, but we much prefer that you scan it and send it to us that way. Did I miss anything?
June 15th,
June 15th, when?
June 15th.
The 15th of June, that's the
Yeah,
cutoff date.
that's the date. Yeah, that's the date.
Okay, and when is the camp actually?
July 13th through the 16th.
Okay, Thursday, the 13th.
It's going to be a Thursday through a Sunday. We felt that for working parents, that would be a better time frame, so they don't have to take as much time off.
Right.
Noon on Thursday, and then the celebratory dinner will be over by 7 p.m. on the
Sunday.
16th, yeah,
Yep. And of course, you're all invited to the dinner and
Okay.
to volunteer.
which we'll talk about shortly.
So after the registration is completed, we will send out welcome letters, which describe in detail what the students need to bring with them, more information about the celebration dinner. And I can tell you that we had, how many people at the celebration dinner, Darlene? 267?
167.
167. We had grandmothers, we had great grandmothers, we had quite a few people, siblings. So we had quite a few people at the celebration dinner
For 41 students.
for 41
Yeah.
students.
3 times.
Yeah, it was quite an event. So, all right, I know we went through that pretty quickly. So everything is here on the website for you.
So
Any-
when would you suggest we start contacting the school to get them to get the kids?
Now,
Tomorrow,
Now, get at it now. Okay.
yeah,
because they have to select the children, the kids, then
Yeah.
information has to be conveyed to the schools, it has to get to the parents, they have to decide if they want to do it, they have to fill the information. So, yes, right now.
So anybody new on the call, the one thing I ran into, so I have 2 school districts.
Mhm.
The one school district, they jumped right in. The other one, even though we do the Camp Nidec, because this is middle school,
right,
it had to go to the superintendent
yeah,
to approve it and then roll down,
right.
not just to the middle school principal. So just a heads up, you might run into a little more work than you think you might have to do.
And actually, in one area, we had a club where the school district would not cooperate. So I suggested to the local club rep, well, you know, you have parochial schools, you have Catholic schools,
Oh, yeah, right.
and they actually had a fantastic student She did all kinds of presentations for us.
Oh, that's
So
great.
we're not restricting, we had charter
Charter
schools,
schools.
so you
Yeah.
don't have to just go to the public school districts.
Right.
So that worked out pretty well. So I know, Lynn, you had a little bit of a bumpy ride.
Yeah, just with that, well, I just, I wanted to get those two kids.
I know. So we've tried to make it a lot easier this year as far as the sign off and the registration and all the other good stuff. So of course, we're always willing to hear more suggestions.
So, and I know that I was, I didn't realize how small amount of money you required from the club. So how much is it per student?
That's the question. We are still awaiting the proposal
Okay,
from Albright. It actually cost us in the neighborhood of $777 for
Last
each
year.
student.
yeah. But you only had the club pay you like $350 per
3
student.
1/4, yeah.
3 1/4.
It's 3 1/4. So now
Right.
that you're bringing up these other schools, there is a parochial school in our club, which is it's the parochial school that would service the 2 school districts.
Yeah.
So if we wanted to pay for one more student, would you be okay with that?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll bring it up. Because I was surprised it was only $325. I'm like, really? Okay,
It's
that's
a steal. It's a steal.
It's a
for the
steal.
that's what I thought.
It
Right.
is.
We
And
make
Lynn,
up
I
the
can,
rest with sponsorships. I mean, that's a model that we're working right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can tell you personally, I paid up to $800
Oh,
for my grandkids to go to Da Vinci for a couple of half days.
sure.
So, I mean, this is a steal. You're staying at the college. The kids love being at the college. Darlene, did they love a pizza party?
yes, yes.
They-
And the
they
chef
can-
was very, very open to whatever the kids wanted. It was great.
And because none of them had stayed, and maybe some will this year, but none have stayed away from home alone before, they were like all leaning on each other, for want of a better term, and made really strong friendships during those 4 days.
That's fun.
Yeah, if you can even come for just 4 hours to see the kids,
Yeah.
it's just amazing, it really is.
Well, Lynn, as I'm sure you're aware, when we started this program, we solicited sponsorships from all the clubs in the district. And I think the average sponsorship was about $1,500 per club. Some were much higher, some lower. And we raised probably well over $30,000 of subsidy. So that's how we can offer that low price. But
Right.
that's being reevaluated because the question is, how long do we want to try to do this fundraising at the district level? And, clubs do their own fundraising as well. for
Right.
Other initiatives. So we're working on that.
Yep,
Okay.
that's to be determined.
Okay.
So registration, any other questions before I go on to volunteers? Okay, so Mr. Mike Orban is our volunteer coordinator. Unfortunately, his own children are very, very talented. And they're always getting awards from different places, so,
Children.
and his grandchildren, he's babysitting the grandkids tonight because Tiffany, she's gotten yet another award, and she's on all these different MTV things. She's a fantastic, both of his kids are very fantastic and very talented, but tonight he had to babysit, so he's not able to be here with us. So we're going to be his pinch hitters. So first we have the instructions for the volunteers. So it's sort of a description of the volunteering process. And you could find yourself as a volunteer walking kids to the cafeteria, maybe walking them to the buses for the planetarium visit, just back and forth, sitting in the classes with them,
Classroom, yeah.
helping the teachers out with the, different kinds of activities, being out there for the Moonwatch party. So there's a lot of different things you can do as a volunteer.
Yeah.
So that's, if you get some folks from your clubs to help as volunteers, they can volunteer for as little as 4 hours, for as much as 80 hours as we did. And Darlene,
I guess you were tired at the end of it, weren't you?
We were,
And
we were.
if you'd like to relive your college dorm experience, we need volunteers to spend the night in the dorm with the kids.
I
Yep, yep.
know.
Darlene's going to talk about that. Yeah, so we have daytime volunteers as well as nighttime volunteers. Darlene will talk about the difference. The daytime volunteers, as far as clearances, Darlene's going to talk about that. The overnight monitoring volunteers, she's going to talk about the Rotary Youth Protection policy that's in effect for that. We pay for your meals. Just tell us you want to come. You want to stay overnight, we'll pay for your dorm room. Don't bring a whole lot of equipment.
No.
Because you won't have a big space to put it in, but you know, it's something you can live with for 4 days and 3 nights.
Right, and to be clear, if you're gonna work the classes every day and you're gonna stay there overnight rather than drive back and forth, which is what we do.
Yeah.
That's different than being a nighttime volunteer, which are those people who agree on 4-hour shifts to stay up all night and sit in the hallways so the kids don't escape, right? And other issues around that. So 2 categories. You may want to come to every class but stay overnight at Albright, which we do, or you may want to volunteer to be, I'll call it a night watchman for want of a better term, for a 4-hour shift during the evening to make sure that the hallways stay unoccupied.
Right. So the second piece on our website shows the volunteer form. So this is actually the form that you fill out, similar to the first Google form that we showed you, your name, you know, your email address, your telephone number, of the Rotary Club you're associated with, your t-shirt size, when do you want to volunteer? And Darlene's going to talk about the differences there. And any comments that you would like us to consider regarding the request to be a STEMIA volunteer. So, Darlene, you want to go ahead and talk about what it means to be a volunteer?
Absolutely. First and foremost, thank you everyone for volunteering your time and your talents to recruit our students. Without you, we don't have a program. On the tab on volunteers, if you'll scroll down to the volunteer form and open that up, when you scroll all the way down and you click on every available time that you can stop right there. Okay, so just because you clicked 10 boxes doesn't mean you're going to have 10 different jobs. They may only need you on Friday overnight monitoring, and that would be it. But make sure when you're filling out your application, you fill out what you're available for. So when that gets filled out, you submit it, it comes over to a STEMIA 2022 email address. I will review that information that you sent over. If you asked to be an overnight volunteers have to go through all of the PA backgrounds, which is you'll need your application with 2 references every 3 years. PA criminal background check every 5 years. PA child abuse every 5 years, and you'll need to sign a form that said you did not perform any acts of child abuse on any children. It's called a PA swear and affirmation disclosure statement. That is that application for volunteers. So when we decided last year, it got very overwhelming when we were meshing our program to do the background checks with Youth Exchange. It was the only thing that we had in order to do a one source background check. Fast forward 3 or 4 months after we found out that it was very challenging, we decided to meet with the leadership team, and we have our own District 743A one source background check. So say you fill out your form and you are going to be identified as a 4-hour daytime volunteer. 4 hours. You're going to be in a group setting. You're going to be in a room full of 100, 200 people maybe at a time. You will not need anything. You only need to fill out this form. Once we have identified you as a 4-hour volunteer, that's all you need. You do not need to do anything else other than fill out this form. If you have your background checks and you would like to submit them because you have a job that you have those forms, please do. Please submit them. It's nice to have them on file. But if you're a 4-hour volunteer with a buddy and a partner doing 2 deep leadership, you do not need to go through your clearances. Now, if you are an overnight volunteer and you are sitting in a dorm and you are doing overnight, you do have to go through all of your background checks. Again, it's going to be an application, criminal background check, child abuse, and the swear and affirmation. And also, you are going to have to do a more extended background check, which is the one source background check. We also will identify you through this, submitting this form. Once you have been approved, you will receive an email from this website saying that you are an approved vetted volunteer, and the Mike Orban, who is our volunteer coordinator, will also get a copy of it, and he will send it to the chair, which is Rolf of our STEMIA. So it's not going to be difficult at all. I just, if you have any questions, please ask them now, and I'll do my best to answer any questions that you have.
Darlene,
Yes, Mike.
what is the yearly thing the volunteers must go through?
Did you do the background check from one source through Youth
Yeah.
Exchange last year?
I did. Isn't that only good for 1 year?
It is. You will do that, but it'll be a direct link coming from one source that you fill out your information, you click the button, and our district has agreed, the district leadership has agreed to pay for it. So you will not get any credit card information. It will not go to Youth Exchange up in Essex. It's not the Essex one source background check. It's the District 7430. And that was the one that was the hardest to get moving, and there was a lot of work, but it does work very seamless, in my opinion.
We've already done ours. It took about 5 minutes.
And you have all this information on the website, right?
What for volunteering?
Yes, I mean, and the background checks that are required.
Yes, it is on the website.
Okay, okay.
There's
So-
also it's on the website is the District 7430 website.
Oh,
So it's not the STEMIA website. That
oh,
is the compliance documents are on that website. That may confuse the life out of you.
okay.
You're
Lynn,
more than welcome to look at it, but it may confuse the life out of you.
the best thing to do, Lynn, is just figure out what times you want to be there. And Darlene kind of takes over from there.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, that's the least confusing way to do it.
Tell you what you need to do.
Yeah. So the clearances are really not difficult. I actually have a global clearance as well because I went to Europe with my granddaughter and some Girl Scouts last year. And that one was a whole lot more interesting.
Okay,
So it's a pretty easy process.
okay.
I promise.
Yeah, and we went through a lot of trouble last year. This is nothing compared to that.
Yes, now I get it. Yep. And we don't have to be vaccinated either, right? We don't
No,
have boosters, right?
no,
Right.
no, none of that. No.
And that's all I have.
I
Okay.
think it's enough. Any other questions about volunteer?
Yeah, I did. But they don't care. They want me.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Yeah, so I was gonna say if I wanted to do Saturday, all day Saturday. And then not do the overnight. I don't want to be home midnight home monitor. And then stay overnight and then do Sunday and then go to the final dinner. That would be fine. I would just check the box and then I would just have to have the further background checks because I'm there for more than 4 hours, right? Or maybe then you guys would only pick me for a 4-hour session on Saturday and a 4-hour session on Sunday.
Mike usually does only do 4-hour shifts. And that was one of the reasons why, when we were talking with the district leadership team about our processes and our procedures, have in our bylaws regular contact with students is when we need all of our clearances. So we felt that
Yeah.
a 4-hour shift with a group is not regular contact.
Yeah.
That's somebody like Youth Exchange. We use that as our benchmark. That's a host family. That's somebody that they
Exactly.
sleep in their
Yeah.
home.
Right,
It's
right.
it's a totally different situation. And yes, we want our students to be safe. And yes, we feel that if you're a Rotarian, we trust that if you're there in a 4-hour shift, we don't need to put you through a grill of many things to do in order to volunteer your times and your treasures for 4 hours. And that's
Right. And I mean, in reality, I mean, if it's an 8-hour day, a 4-hour shift, I mean, 8 hours is a long time to be on.
Yeah,
Right.
it is.
you
Yeah,
won't.
so-
9 out of 10 times you won't be on more than 4 hours at a time.
Yeah, so that, yeah, okay, that's very reasonable.
But if you want to be on 4 hours one day, 4 hours the other day, and you want to stay overnight there, please express that. If you
Yeah,
Right.
that's fine.
Right.
Yeah, express
Right,
it. in the
it's
form
like
of-
it's like an hour and a half from where I live. So
Right.
it would make most sense for
Right.
me to do it something that way.
Yeah, that's what we do.
That's what we do.
We just
Okay.
sign up for the whole weekend. The whole 4 days, yeah. Good explanation, Darlene. Thank you. A lot clearer than last year.
You're welcome.
Anybody else? I know this is sometimes a touchy subject. Dr. Mike, you want to add anything? You're okay?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Okay, all right. So of course, we can't do this for free.
Right.
So the question comes, how do we sponsor and donate and all this other good stuff? So on the website, we have some sponsorship opportunities and benefits. So there's a sheet there that we would like you to share with your club members to see if they would like to help us out here.
Yeah.
All donations are accepted, of course. There's different levels of donations, and there's different things that you receive based on your donations. So these are the different levels. Let's see if I can go down a little bit. Okay, so we go down as far as, we actually had a Mars level donation this morning at our club. You get tickets to the celebration dinner, recognition of participation. And of course, if you have a logo and a brief company description, we can put that on our STEMIA website. We do have something new this year. One of our Rotarians passed away. One of our Rotarian STEMIA members passed away. She was instrumental in helping to develop the curriculum. So we'd like to be able to offer a scholarship to a Rotary Club that's unable to sponsor a student. So that's a new one that we have this year. So that's in honor of Dr. Kathy. So we have, let me get rid of the volunteer stuff.
Oh.
And now we'll go to the, when you're trying to convince somebody to help you out and give you some money, you want some statistics. So
Yeah.
I put together a 2002 final report. So this is about the 2002 year, how many students, a picture of the kids, what the curriculum was involved, what was there, how many volunteers were there, the sponsors and donors, who were the special guests, some fun facts, what we did with social media. So you have some documentation there. We also have, let me go down a little bit here and show you the brochure. We have a very talented graphic artist working with us. So I have physical copies of the brochure as well as this digital copy. And these are the inside, both covers for the document. But this shows, and these are our actual kids that we have in the pictures, which is fantastic. We have facts inside that tell the story of STEMIA. So these are the kids. Here's the lab. Here's the numbers: 41 students, 26 schools, 20 districts, 9 sessions, 6 project sessions. I can tell you that we have adjusted our curriculum a little bit this year. So we have engaged even more, hopefully some more participation by the kids. So these are great materials. If you need physical copies, I have physical copies of all these things. We will be at the district conference. Dr. Mike's going to be there. Darlene's going to be there. So we'll have materials there as well. So,
Question.
yes,
Have last year's donors been contacted?
yes, they have been contacted early and often. We're finding that it's a more difficult year for sponsorship. And
Oh.
learning that we really need to engage our sponsors in November of the year preceding our event. Because a lot
Prior
of,
to the end of the tax year.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
We're learning from that. But now we have a product, we have pictures, we have a report. You know, we have some valuable things.
All right. If my donor that I got last year has not responded positively, could you let me know?
He has not.
He has not yet?
He has
All
not.
right.
I can provide you
Um,
anything that you need.
Okay, I'll reach out to them.
Okay, fantastic. So now we do have a fundraiser coming up. So
Right.
if you look at the news section of our website, it's fabulous to see that we have Al and Darlene with their big ticket reverse raffle night.
Well, this is the second year we're doing this. Last year, we had an astronaut, a professor from Lehigh, and that was excellent. And had about 100 people show up, made $18,000 net after ticket sales. We call them baskets. They're auction premiums. They were more than baskets. There were timeshares, cruises, all kinds of things. And so we had the silent auction, and then we had the sponsors who got advertising exposure. And this year we moved it to Brookside, which happens to be the club meeting site for Pottstown and our district governor, Len Geisler. So this year, I think we're going to hit 100 again, maybe more. And there are a number of, it's like a 3-ring circus. We have a reverse raffle going on, which is where you draw the winning number last. We have a guest speaker. This year it's a renowned cardiologist, but he's also a fiction writer, medical crime mysteries. And we have a live band for interludes of music. We have a photo booth, and we also have a caricaturist. So, and there's a cocktail reception that starts the evening off, and then we have some dinner, then some number calling, and then a guest speaker, and so on and so forth. So the tickets are only $125, and that gives you a very complete dinner. Darlene negotiated a good deal, excellent deal with Brookside. You also get a couple of drinks. You get lottery tickets, so you have a chance to win $2,000 as a grand prize. And there's a lot of other prizes. So I don't want to go on, but that's the deal. We still have tickets available. So what we would like the club reps to do that haven't already done it, promote it within their club and bring more people. It's a great way to learn more about the program and have a lot of fun. Darlene, anything I missed?
Yeah, the only thing I wanted to add is, Lynn, I was listening to you when you had shared earlier that you were very surprised that the cost was so minimal, and the cost is minimal because we fundraise and as Gwen said, we have these corporate sponsors that trust us, and we're able to, keep that cost down so that we can have more students experience this opportunity. And it's an opportunity that if your club can afford 5 of them, send 5.
Right.
So yes, no one really likes to go do the ask or the knock on the door, but we do it. We do it.
Right.
We're
It's our
passionate
job.
about the project, and it was a great year last year. I'm looking forward to this year being, just as good, if not better, because, we worked out some of the kinks.
Right.
So yeah, that's why the price is so low, because the money that we raised last year from the STEM Yay ticket was the food, the dorm, the celebratory dinner, and the swag bag that the students will, receive, which are about $100 a piece. So,
Okay.
If
yep.
you ever want to try to sell a donor, just go to the alumni page and look at these kids.
Mhm.
It's fantastic. And
Great.
of course, we have the local clubs.
I mean, all those clubs, 30-some thousand we raised.
Right. And then we have Jared Isaacman, who gave us $5,000. You may know he has the.
I did not know that.
Yeah. has the Polaris rocket. He has contributed $100,000 to Da Vinci to set up something for them. So we have asked him again for some money. He's a local guy. He's from Easton. We had astronaut Terry Hart last year. So maybe we have some big hitters that have been happy with us. So there it is, 167 students, parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, volunteers, etc.
That's great.
Yeah.
Free. Yeah.
There was no charge for the dinner?
No, free. That's what I said. That's the money
Oh,
that we
geez.
raised.
Oh,
Yeah, yep. Well, we
Wow.
felt that if you have a student that is underserved, then why would you ask their parents?
no, that's
to
true.
spend money
Right.
on A, the transportation, and then B, this dinner.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, got it. Oh, that's great. Okay.
So questions? You know, you can always come back and ask us if you have any questions, any concerns.
Absolutely.
I think
Okay.
our
Looks
contact information is on
great.
the website.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
As I said, we have adopted the curriculum a little bit this year. We are going to the planetarium again. We are having a different kind of a moon watch this year. What else? What else has changed?
I think that's pretty much it.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
sounds good.
So thank you all for coming
Thank
tonight,
you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
and always reach out if you need anything.
Oh, I did last
Thank
year.
That's okay, Lynn. I enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Night all.
All right.
Good night.
Good night.